Everybody, let's get the choir together. 1, 2, 3. They say this is a big rich town, but I just come from the poorest parts. Bright lights, city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. Yes. What's up, guys? It's Shy Gemini, and I am coming to you all with a review for Power. It started today. Yes, I'm so excited. This is season 5, the first episode, and let me tell y'all, I am excited. I am happy. It's long overdue. I feel like the break is just entirely too long, and it needs to hurry up and come back. Well, it's back, y'all. So again, one of the best shows out there. I love it. I love every minute of it. So the episode kicks off with Angela. Angela's on the roof of the crime scene of Ray Ray. And you know, she's going over in her head everything that took place to get to this point now. She thinks about the conversation she had with Tasha about trying to find Tyreek's location. She thinks about the conversation with Sax and about Ghost wanting to get revenge for his daughter's death. She also thinks about Ghost when she ran into him and he had this bag of stuff, and she's like, what are you doing? So all of this stuff is playing in her head, and it's making her, I would think, feel guilty because she feels like she led them to do something bad to that officer, to that dirty officer. So while she's up there thinking, this other sergeant comes up there and he wants to ask her questions and talk to her about the scene and the fact that they had got a bullet out of the wall. Well, I think she discovered the bullet, and basically wanted to get her statement on what happened, what she observed or whatever. And she was like, you know what, it's no need to even mention that I was here. Detective Jones or somebody else is here, so it's not even a mention, no need to mention me. And this new person is lurking in the background, this new detective or whatever she is, lurking in the background listening. So when she leaves, she walks up and the sergeant is like, what is internal affairs doing here? So she works for internal affairs. And they were like, you know, I guess they use internal affairs for dirty cops. She was like, well, basically in so many words, the situation looks dirty. So they sent her there to investigate. She inquires about who that is, and he tells her, you know, that's Angela's, what is her name, y'all? Whatever her last name is, that's her. So she is intrigued about her being there. What's going on, basically? So we have Drew. Drew is actually showing up to the scene, and he sees the police activity going on. So he's like, oh shit. So he calls Tyreek like, man, what happened? What's going on? He was like, I can't talk right now. He hangs up the phone. Dre immediately calls Christopher and like, we got a problem. So he wants to meet up with him. But Tasha comes home. She is greeted by Keisha. Tasha asks Keisha, is Tyreek in his room? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, you know, if anybody calls and asks you anything, tell them that we were at home the entire night. Keisha's like, why do I have to tell them that you all were home? Like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, they probably won't. Like, you came up to her with this panicky tone, and then when she asks you why, then it's like, oh, girl, it's probably nothing. So you're kind of bad at when you're calling a situation. Like, you just kind of telling yourself. So Keisha was like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I'm going home. I'll talk to you about it tomorrow or whenever. So Tommy, Kanan, and Ghost are together. They meet at Tommy's house, and they're basically discussing their plan to kill Dre. They want him so bad, y'all. It's like they can taste it. You could tell all three of them wants a piece of Dre. So the girl, y'all remember the girl that worked at the diner or whatever, and she heard Ghost speak, and I think he's actually speaking in Spanish, and she freaked out. Well, she went down to the DA's office, talked to Sax of all people. I'm like, his thirsty ass is definitely, now he's taking the place of Greg as far as being thirsty to get Ghost. So she was like, I heard his voice. James St. Patrick is definitely Ghost, because I didn't see him. I was blindfolded, but that's definitely him. So Sax is like, yes, we finally got something to get Ghost. So basically he's relaying the message to John and Tamika, the new head person, since Mike was dirty and was killed. So he's relaying this message to them, like, we finally can nail his ass, we got him. And John's like, how can you think you got him based off of her hearing somebody's voice? His defense, his attorneys are gonna have a field day with that. Like, it's still not enough. So Sax is frustrated because, you know, he wants to get Ghost. He is on Ghost's ass. He feels like he needs to do it for Greg, maybe. I don't know, but he's on his ass. You better be careful because you're going to end up like Greg, 6 feet under, okay? For some reason, Tamika, the new head person, whatever, wants Angela to observe the situation and get her take on it. And Sax thinks it's a bad idea. And I'm like, okay, I kind of agree. You know that she has some type of affiliation with James. Why do you want her to look at it? Like, why do you need her, of all people, to look at it? I know she's got this big position now, but why? So Angela calls Tasha to meet in the garage, and basically she was like, I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I feel like you set me up. You're trying to protect Ghost. Ghost did something to Ray Ray. All the information I gave you Tariq's tracking, but it was for Ghost, wasn't it? Like, everything was just adding up to the fact that Ghost may have done it. So while Angela's rambling on about it being Ghost, and she's gonna have to turn all of them in because she's gonna get in trouble if she doesn't, Tasha lets her know it's Tariq. Tariq was the one that killed dude. And she's standing there dumbfounded, like, damn, like, what the hell? But Tasha's like, you know, I wiped it clean, everything is covered, I took care of it. And Angela was like, well, actually you didn't, because they found a bullet in the wall. And then Tasha's face was like, shit, like, damn. So yeah, they have the bullet, and they're gonna match your bullet with the gun, because she asked her, where did you put the gun? And Tasha said, it's gone, I reported it stolen. But Angela remembers from the previous investigation of them that she took her gun in as evidence for a second, and her gun is still in their database, so they still can pop her that way. She wants Angela to basically make it go away, go into their data system or something, and make it disappear. So Angela is now putting her job on the line, and I knew it was happening anyway. I knew she was going to end up being involved in this and helping them in the end. So Dre meets with Cristobal. Can we talk about Cristobal? Was he that fine the last season? I was looking at him like, okay, Bobby. He was cute. So they're talking, and Cristobal tells Dre, those 2 guys that I hired to go after Kanan, which is my best hitters, they disappeared. They have not returned. And he was like, Dre already knew. Like, Kanan probably killed their ass. He likes Superman. He's invincible. If he's able to survive a burning building, he probably killed them. So now Cristobal's like, okay, so now we got to keep our head on the swivel for Kanan. Dre was like, not only Kanan, but Tommy and Ghost as well, because they know that I set them up. And the priest told me that they know. Not set them up. He knows that he killed Julio. And you know, they love Julio. Julio was like another part of their family. So he knows that they know that he's responsible for Julio's death. And they think that he knows that they got the information from that other Hispanic guy. Remember the one that had the tattoos, bald-headed? Because Tommy and Ghost captured him and killed him. So they think that's where they got the information from. Cristobal's like, look, we need to ask the Jimenez to help us, to be on our side. Dre said he promised them no wars, that they're not about that. This is business, and he wants to keep his promise. But if they know that they're definitely in a target, then they can use that to their advantage. So this is where his plan comes into play. Tommy, Kanan, and Ghost meet Tasha and Tariq at the church. Tasha's surprised to see Kanan. Like, what the hell is he doing here? And Ghost was like, look, he's helping us, whatever. Don't worry about that. And she also was wondering where he was, because he didn't come home that night. So they go inside and they're greeted by the slimy, greasy Councilman Tate. He's walking them through the church. He has them having it at this cold church, this huge church, and it's all for his publicity. Like, I just couldn't understand why he couldn't let them grieve without it being some type of business motive. Like, that was just annoying to me. And then when he started mentioning the press, Tasha was like, what the hell, press at my daughter's funeral? Like, and you already agreed to this? And Ghost was like, well, yeah, we got that project that we're working on, and it's actually going to be in Raina's name, in her memory. And Councilman Tate was like, it is? He was like, yeah, it is. So that lets me know Ghost just threw that in there. Since dude is blackmailing him and bribing him anyway, I don't know what that's about. But before the last season ended, dude basically told him this is how it's going to be. So they're going to have this park, whatever, that they're creating in Queens in Raina's name. He feels like that it'll honor their daughter and also get donations for the project that they're working on. But I'm like, this is not the time to use your daughter's death as a business move. Like, I just felt like that was tacky and tasteless. So while they're still at the church, Councilman Tate suggests Tyreek do the eulogy. And immediately Tasha and Ghost are like, no, absolutely not. But Tyreek was like, I can do it, no problem, I can do it. So they're looking like, oh, okay. So he's going to do the eulogy. I can't stand Tyreek. Oh, why couldn't it have been him? I don't wish death on no kids, but he think he tough and hard and he ain't nowhere near. So I can't stand him. But while they're still in there talking, Kanan asked Tommy, was Tyreek there when they popped Ray Ray? And Tommy lied and said, no, he wasn't even there. We had did it before he got there. So Kanan was asking like how Tyreek was doing. Because Kanan, he tries to be a hard ass, but he likes Tyreek. And I think because he didn't have the best relationship with his son, Sean, he's trying to make it up with him. So he's asking questions about him, and Tommy's like, look, he's cool, his family got him, so you ain't got to worry about that no more. Basically, like, stay the fuck away from Tyreek, basically. Kanan was like, don't forget I was the one that let you know what was going on or he'll be dead. He said, yeah, but you also the same person that introduced him to this Ray Ray dude, so you could have got him killed, so you can miss me with that. And he couldn't do nothing but be quiet, because it is your fault, Kanan, because you had a vendetta and you want to get a back at Ghost. So it is your fault, technically. So when Tasha and Ghost get back to the house, they're talking to Tyreek. They make him sit down like, look, why was Ray following you and why did he kill your sister? He's being a hard ass and trying to be this tough guy, won't say nothing. And Ghost was like, I know what you were doing, because he says he knows about him, his little heist with Kanan and stealing and breaking into people's houses or whatever. And he asks, how does Dre know Ray? And Tyreek says, first he didn't want to answer. Again, trying to be a hard ass. He met Ray at Kanan's house, at Kanan's party. He also was like, and why would Dre send you to go after Ray Ray? And he's like, actually he didn't. He tried to get me to stay away from him, but I threatened him with telling y'all that he knew about Kanan, and I put a gun to his head, or to his body. I took Mom's gun and threatened him with the gun. Then all the secrets of Dre and his behind the scene antics were coming out. He was like, how long did Dre know that Kanan was alive? And he said he knew from the beginning. So Ghost by this point is getting pissed. He was like, so he knew that Kanan was here from the beginning and he ain't said nothing? Steaming, just study steaming. So then Tasha was like, well, how come Raina didn't tell me that you were in trouble? Huh? Why didn't she say anything to me? And again, Tyreek being silent, won't say nothing. And Ghost was like, because he told her not to tell. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Ghost is getting pretty pissed at this point. He like, look, he hemmed him up in the corner, and he was basically like, it's your fault for your sister's death. You were being a jackass, a dumbass, and now your sister's dead because of you. I mean, he hemmed him up on that wall. Tyreek still trying to be tough and bad, and I could tell Ghost wanted to knock his teeth out, but he had to remember that's his son, and Tasha had to tell him to fall back, basically, like, hey, he gets it. He's already feeling guilty enough, like, chill. But in this instant, I honestly don't fault Ghost for going off on him like he did, because even after all of this, you can tell that Tyreek has not learned any lessons. He's still trying to be a stubborn jackass, trying to play this tough role. He know he's not, and it irritates me. And you can tell that he's still plotting and scheming in his head. He's gonna get them in more shit. He's gonna get himself in shit, and it's gonna be to the point where he can't get out of it. So I can't stand him, and I honestly don't blame Ghost for almost knocking his head off. I really don't. Hey, sometimes with your kids, you gotta do that. So, especially them boys. But anyway, he rushes off to the room. Angela is at her job, and I'm like, I know you really ain't contemplating doing this and using your name. So she starts typing her name at first in the database, but then she thought about it. She goes back and types somebody else's name, and I'm like, that's even more grimy that you typing somebody else's name to do something dirty. But so she's doing it, and she didn't press accept though. She was kind of like going back and forth on if she was going to do it or not. So while she's contemplating or whatever, Tamika walks in, and she was like, why didn't you pick up the phone? I was trying to call you yesterday and you weren't picking up. And she said, I'm so sorry, I was exhausted. I went home and went to bed. So she was like, so what is it that you wanted to talk to me about? And Tamika was like, I forget. And I'm like, nah, you ain't forget. You just don't want to, you don't trust her right now. So you're not going to say nothing. But I was like, Angela, you going to have your people turning their back on you again because they don't trust you, because they don't know if your loyalty is with them or Ghost. So yeah, she changed that quick. So Monica Rodriguez, that's the internal affairs officer that we were introduced to. She shows up to Angela's job, and she's like, it's just interesting that someone, I guess, of your status was there. Like, why were you there at the scene? And why didn't you sign out? Why didn't you log out or anything of being at the scene? And she was like, oh, that was just a mistake. And she was like, you know, you can actually get in trouble for that. So she was like, have you ever spoke to Ray Ray? And she was like, no, I never got a chance to speak with him. But you all remember, she did actually speak to Ray Ray. And it actually came out during this episode, basically, that now this lady knows that Angela is lying about possibly meeting with him, because when the girl went to meet with Ray Ray's cousin, she saw Angela's card on the card table, on the table. So the lady went there to tell her that basically we're going to issue a death certificate for him. And if we find out through our investigation that he wasn't a dirty cop, you get to get his pension. You're the next of kin, you get his pension. So after she discovered that card, she's like, has any officers been around here or anybody, you know? She said, just his people at his job in NYPD. And she was like, any female officers? And she's like, no. So now the wheels are turning in this new person's head, and she's gonna be on Angela's ass like stink on a monkey. So she's definitely gonna be watching her. But Angela, I think you got your match. I think you got somebody that's gonna definitely be on your ass. So boy is standing outside, and he sees Tommy. He said, you with the 69 Mustang or whatever car he has. He was like, who are you? He said, I know the priest, and he told me that if something ever happened to him, to come talk to you. Tommy's like, what the hell you mean? What's going on? They found the priest dead on the bench. He got stabbed in the heart, basically. He bled out. Tommy was pissed, like, did they say who did it? And he said, basically, they really don't know, but when he find him, he gonna kill him. He gonna put his hands on him. And Tommy was like, me too. And the kid was like, that was the only like good or cool white person I ever known. And Tommy was like, yeah, me too. So, I'm like, Tommy is crazy. But yeah, now Tommy knows the priest is dead, and that's really gonna add fuel to the fire. So Kanan and Ghost and Tommy later on, they try to go to the warehouse where Dre is supposedly, I guess, doing his business there with the drugs. And I'm guessing they got a tip that lured them there. And that was basically a setup, because when they got there, they were ambushed by Dre and his goons or whatever. They're shooting at them. They're having a real shootout and everything. Ghost gets shot in his stomach. And I'm like, oh, they got y'all. Y'all need to just find a way to hurry up and get out of there. So thank God Kanan pulled in to the rescue, started shooting, and they ran. They got in the car. They meet up with Proctor. Proctor is Ghost's lawyer. They get this fly-by-night doctor, wherever, come meet them at this location, because you know they hustlers. They can't be showing up at nobody's hospital, especially being shot. So the guy had to come to him, fix him up. So when Proctor gets back to his house, Angela's sitting there waiting on him. She wants to be a witness in his during his, I guess, trial of if he should be disbarred or not. She wants to be a witness. He said, I definitely can't use you, not as a character witness after all the shit you've been in. No ma'am. No ma'am. And he was like, what are you doing this for? Do you want to get back at John Max? Or do you want to hold this over my head so I can owe you later? Like, it's a motive. I don't trust you. And she was like, really? I'm the top whatever she is, top prosecutor in the state or whatever. He was like, you blackmailed somebody. You basically bribed your way into that position. So is it really legit? He wasn't here for it. He was not having it. Keisha and Tasha are talking about the funeral, reminiscing about Raina. And through that conversation, Keisha decided to basically speak in their behalf if somebody asked her. She's like, if somebody asks me about your alibi, I got you. Kay, Tommy, Ghost discuss the plan again, and Ghost asks Kay, does he still have his people? Tommy was like, no, we can't do that. We can't send the black hitters out because he'll know. We got to mix it up, and we need to be the Italians. So Ghost said they're going to use both. They're going to use the Italians and the black people to kind of throw Dre off their heels or whatever. So Angela meets back with Tasha. And Tasha asked, did she erase the files? Angela let her know, no. And Tasha's all in a hissy fit, and she's mad, like, why didn't you do it? And she says she has to log in with her ID. That's number one. Are you trying to get me to jeopardize my job and my freedom? That was two things. And then she said, the Fed database, there's two different databases. The Fed's database and the internal report. She said the federal database actually does not have the gun logged in yet. So she's cool with that. That can be lost paperwork. But the internal report has already been filed. So she's going to have to log in somebody's name and delete it. So Tasha was like, do it then. She's like, it's not that easy. I'm putting myself in jeopardy. And I'm putting, everybody in jeopardy. She was like, I know you're going to do it because you still love Ghosts. And she was like, no, I don't. She was like, look, you ain't got to explain nothing to me. When I had 3 children, that's when I had time to worry about who my husband was sleeping with. But I got 2 children now, and I'm trying to save one that's still left from going to jail, basically. So I need you to do it. So they go to, Tommy meets with the Italians later. And he strikes a deal with one of the guys to have his people push some of his product on the street. The guy agrees to do it. As he's leaving, he sees 2 of their guys sitting there, and he asks them, do they want to make some quick money real quick? $60,000 to be exact, to go after Dre. He didn't want them to kill him. He just wants them to bring him back to him so he can kill him, basically. The guy says $80,000 and we have a deal, so they agreed to do it. So they're at the funeral. Everybody's walking in. Councilman Tate is being the sleazeball that he is. He has the cameraman come stand over here and do this and show the family. And Tasha and Keisha like, who the hell is all these people here? And Tasha don't even know half the people there. Tommy gets there, he wouldn't let him sit in the front pew with them. I mean, he's just a mess. So while they're sitting there, Keisha's crying, Tommy's trying to console her. But then he gets a call, a text, basically saying to Ghost that they found Dre and they're gonna get him. The target is ready. Why did they say that in earshot of Tyreek? Because Ghost was in the front sitting next to Tyreek. Why did they say that next to him? So as he gets ready to get up and do his eulogy, Tyreek, he acts like, I feel like he was pretending. I'm sorry, he might really be grieving his sister, but I think in this moment he was pretending to be so struck with grief that he runs to the bathroom. While he's in the bathroom, he texts Dre to warn him about they putting a hit on him. He texts him, run. So Dre sees these two black dudes, runs through this whatever spot he is, and as he's running, he shakes them finally. When he comes to the little back way, the two Italian dudes grab him up and they put the cover on him, wrap it around, but as they're trying to wrap it around, Andre shoots one of the dudes. He shoots the dude, then when he gets up, he hits him, shoots him in the head, it looks like, and then he runs off. I'm like, damn, he got away. And I'm like, Tyreek, you idiot. But I'm thinking it's two things that probably could go on. Either he really likes Dre and he's trying to stick it to his father, or he's trying to keep Dre on his good side to get Dre himself. But I'm like, dude, you not about this life. You ain't no gangster, you ain't no thug, so you need to not do that. But he helped him get away, and I was so annoyed with that. So he gets away. After the funeral, Ghost is at the graveyard. He couldn't leave. Everybody left. Tasha told Terry she couldn't stay there because she didn't want to see them lowering her in the ground. And I understand that. That's your child, and you have to watch your child get lowered into the ground forever. I wouldn't want that. So while he's at the graveyard, Dre walks up like, you, Tommy, and Kanan made a mistake when y'all decided y'all want to come against me. Y'all may not want to do that. He said he got the protection of the Hernandez cartel, and that if anything happens to him, he'll be going to another funeral. So if you don't want to go to no more funerals, you'll mind your business. You do your thing and let me do my thing. And I'm like, oh, Dre, you all big and bad now. You was working for Ghost. Remember Ghost took you under his wing? He tried to actually save you from the streets. He looked out for you. He let you run his business, and this how you do him? Wow, like shady. And I hope when they catch you, they make you suffer. Cause you dirty, you foul. Basically left a card. Well, the Hernandez, I hope I'm saying it right. I don't think I am. Left cards at each one of their places. Tommy's house, on Kanan's car, and Dre hand delivered his to Ghost. So that's how the episode ended, basically with Dre letting him know, like, this is my town now. I run things, and you're not gonna be able to touch me, basically. But remember, Ghost is very smart. You've seen him in action, so he's gonna get you one way or another. He's gonna get you, Dre. I hope you're ready. But anyway, y'all, very excellent first episode. I enjoyed it. I love this show. That's one of those shows that when it goes off, you're like, I can't wait till next Sunday. So that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I shall see you guys again soon. Please thumbs up this video, share, subscribe if you are not a new subscriber. Subscribe, why not? Join the fun. All right, so I shall talk to you again soon.